Hi, I'm Emmanuela Wroth. I'm a Leverhulme Early Career Research Fellow in the Music Faculty, and I'm also a Governing Body Fellow here at Hughes Hall. So my project's called Diasporic Divas, and I'm looking at Afro-diasporic women performers in 18th and 19th century Western Europe and the Atlantic. So what that means is usually black women performers who travelled and toured and created music and performed it in the 18th and 19th century. Yeah, so a big part of my research is trying to recover erased and forgotten histories. And I use the term forgotten lightly because often there's been an intentional erasure as well, and trying to recover these voices, both because they've been excluded due to race and gender and other diversities, but also it's to do with a period prior to voice and sound recording and film recording and photography. So often trying to recapture these lost voices is quite difficult. Also, often these women didn't leave many written traces behind. So it's how do we recapture their stories and their voices and their agency when there's quite limited archival source material. I look at music, I look at musical scores, often there's little doodles and there's just little ways of capturing, hidden traces that maybe hadn't been seen before. So it's quite a creative act, and often you'll go to the archive and you don't really know what you might encounter, and that's quite fun as well. So one of my case studies is called Maria Martinez. She was Cuban, she was born in about 1820, she moved to Europe and she travelled around Spain, France and the UK performing, and actually I'm really interested in how her hybrid musical education both in Cuba and then in Seville meant that she was a real innovator. When she was moving around, she was bringing new sounds and new traditions across Europe. Two of the most well-known songs from Bizet's Carmen are the Seguidilla from Seville and the Habanera from Cuba, and I make the argument and the case that actually Bizet was almost certainly influenced by Maria Martinez in his composition. So it's not just, looking at really niche areas of music history, but actually some of the most well-known pieces that are still really celebrated today. It's about weaving in the information and the history and the academic side with also the performance element, and trying to make that also more inspiring and accessible to a more diverse public. So I was really keen to be part of a mature college because I myself stepped away from academia for a few years between my master's and my PhD, and I really see the value sometimes in taking a step away and coming back when it's the right time for you. I really love it here. It's a very progressive and inclusive college, which really reflects the type of work that I do as well. And then there's wonderful formals and lots of opportunities to engage socially, both with the fellowship and the students. And yeah, I feel like a real part of this college. I really love it here.